Yo, 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 what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby. Representing my squad as always. And today I'm showcasing to you guys Thunder Dragon Invoked Prankids. Yeah, boy, Prankids are pretty vicious. The reason why I'm able to showcase this deck to you guys today is actually thanks to Levi Mapes. He sent me Prankids and Nefertis and other cards in the mail. He didn't ask for anything in return. The dude just really went out of his way for me. He's one of our awesome subs. Him and people like Andrew Dutton that take that extra mile and initiative to support my dream, that really is heartwarming and it really is a blessing. So yeah, definitely wanted to shout him out. So this list I'm showcasing to you guys, like I said, is Thunder Dragon Invoked Prankids. I think that all three of these decks have very, very unique and similar properties. Really great cooperation when the decks function well, almost as if they were meant to be. And just in cohesion, like there's a lot of synergizing plays that the deck can make. You know, Invocation, being able to pretty much bring out all of the archetype specific cards, being able to use Invocation, which is kind of like a searchable poly to fuse and make your Prankid plays pop off, and then the Prankids having all these different attributes, you know, having access to every attribute except for Earth, that really helps for the Invoke aspect. Thunder Dragons are actually just insane. Work really well. And then there's synergy between Thunder Dragons and Prankids. As most people already know, Thunder Dragon Fusion can summon out their butler. One of their monsters is a Thunder monster. You get what I'm saying? There's just a lot of just really good benefits that come out of all three of these archetypes. Obviously, Alistair being able to, you know, protect all your fusions, being able to make the Link monster for Alistair allows you to pump out more fusions. Just really good turn one boards in general. Like there was one time I ended up having Alistair the Invoker, Makaba, and Totally Awesome. And I don't have Colossus, but I could have had Colossus out if I had Colossus, because I was able to make it by tributing one Thunder monster from the field, but I couldn't make Titan. I didn't have the resources for Titan, but I basically could have had Colossus out as well, which just would have been insane. And all I would have done was just link with the Alistair, and then I would have went into Wee Witch's Apprentice, and it just would have been insane. But yeah, I'm going to hop into the list, you guys. So we're going to start with the main deck. So I went heavier on the Thunder Dragons than I did on anything else. So we'll go ahead and start off with triple Thunder Dragon Dark. You know, Thunder Dragon Dark for me is what allows for Thunder Dragons to be played as an engine in general, because he's going to be able to search out all the cards that you need for you to pop off with your plays to set up for your combos, searching out your fusions so that way you can summon your Butler or, you know, your Colossus, whatever you want to make. Really strong, you know, has a quick effect which allows you to trigger your Titan. And next to that, I still play triple Thunder Dragon Roar. I felt that the main Thunder Dragons being Dark, Roar, and Hawk, I still needed to see them. Because this deck is still more focused on the Thunder Dragons than it is on the Prankids and the Invoke. Invoke is more like an engine. Prankids give Thunder Dragons something that they really didn't have. And Invoke is just amazing, you guys. It really is. And the Invoke engine itself helps because now I don't have to play Polymerization and other cards that search out Poly, when I have a better searchable poly that can also make all my other plays pop off too. But anyways, you know, triple Roar, basically like your graph, but his best effect for me was actually always the discard effect, because I use this to loop my my Thunder Dragon Fusion. You basically have infinite resources because a Thunder Dragon Fusion will instantly just recycle your fusion monsters like your Colossuses and your Titans to make more Titans, and then you loop it with this because you banish Thunder Dragon Fusion to search. Then you could even search this guy, pitch him, add Thunder Dragon Fusion back, activate it. Just for example, activate Thunder Dragon Fusion again, summon another Titan, and, you know, next turn banish it, search another this guy. It's endless. You're never gonna burn out of resources. So I really love the grind with Roar and Thunder Dragon Fusion. It's actually insane. And then we have triple Hawk. Hawk is really good, and Hawk actually helps with a lot of the invoked combos as well. So yeah, I'm still maximizing on Hawk. A lot of the times, Hawk is one of the main reasons why you can get out Colossus, because my normal summon normally has to go to other stuff besides a Thunder Effect monster, which is very much true. So, you know, Hawk really helps to get the extra body on field, especially when you don't have like a Gold Sark, but you just have Hawk and any other the guys that can be put in the grave through Invocation or through their discard effects. Hawk is just really strong. The Mulligan effect can come up, especially if, for example, you draw too many Prankids, but you don't have a way to fuse with them. You just put them all back and then get some better cards So yeah, Hawk is just still really strong. I still play triple OG Thunder Dragon. I really like this card. There's a lot of resources that you expend, and being able to have that the advantage that you get off of Thunder Dragon really helps, because a lot of your fodder you need to fuse, you need to discard, so you're sending a lot of cards away from your hand, and you still need fodder from Makaba. So I really like that Thunder Dragon will give me A, fodder for Makaba, and B, you know, fodder for other plays, in addition to that, being able to get the fodder to make the Makaba in the first place as well. And just a free discard, just a Thunder Dragon monster that can activate its effect whenever it wants to without stipulations. Like this has a stipulation, this has a stipulation. Dark doesn't, but you only have 3 dark. So just being able to set up for your Colossus even easier. That's why I still play the OG Thunder Dragon. It's just insane. And getting those 2 fodders you need, because I've ended on double Makaba before, which is really, really easy to do. This one card gives you 2 negates that you need off of Makaba, so really strong. And I'm only playing 2 copies of Matrix. Matrix, I felt like this one was had the most minimal of all the combo pieces. It's still important to play because it has interactions. Like for example, when you're doing your Prankid combos and then you summon out your Fansies being the Thunder one, you can actually discard this, and if you read it, it targets one Thunder monster on the field. So you can actually boost your Fansies, and then you can tribute your Fansies off, and you know, you can still make a Colossus. So that's come up. You know, it's just a really strong card, but I feel like 3 was just a little too much, and it's one of the ones that require a little bit more of a setup than the rest. Like, it's easier to set up for all 3 of these, their discard effects, but for this one, you've got to get one on field, and sometimes that's not easy to do because you have to literally have one of the Thunder Dragons on field or a Fansies in order for this to be able to get out your Colossus. So I felt that it was the most situational of all, but it's still a good card. So I felt that 2 was a good ratio. So now I'm going to move the Thunder Dragon monsters. I'm just going to move them back. So now for the next portion of the deck, we have the Prankids. We're going to start off with triple Fansies. Fansies having that great synergy with this deck. It's not just because it's a Thunder Effect monster, but also because it's so easy to get access to this card. It's extremely tutorable through all the other Prankid cards. And every combo, like if you have any Prankid combo, you're going to be able to get this out. So basically, you're going to have a way to make Colossus just by resolving a Prankid combo, as long as you have a Thunder monster that can resolve its effect in hand. That's why I feel that OG Thunder Dragon's still really strong. You know, Dark's really good. You know, Matrix is good. Like, all of these are really, really powerful. That's why I still wanted to maximize on as many copies of Thunder Dragon as possible, because I just want to open up with a hand where I have Prankid combo plus a Thunder monster that I can just discard. So I can do my standard ending of Totally Awesome plus Colossus. I proxy my Colossuses when I do those test hands. But yeah, Fansies is just really, really strong. It also sets up for really nice combos with your Doodle Doodle Doo, because he'll Foolish Burial one of your Prankids cards. So you can basically send one of the spells or traps. So basically Doodle Doodle Doo, he'll search one out, and then he can act the other one that you sent off of your Fansies. So for example, you could search Plan off of Doodle Doodle Doo, but when you resolve Fansies, you can also dump Pandemonium and then use Doodle to get Pandemonium back. So that way you've got 2 of the Prankid spells or traps from your deck to your hand, basically off of Doodle Doodle Doo, because every time you summon Doodle Doodle Doo, you're going to be able to resolve Fansies because they all summon themselves, which is really strong. So yeah, Fansies is arguably the best one for this particular variation, because of all the combos that he sets up, and he really assists in other scenarios as well. And then next up, 3 copies of Dropsies. Dropsies is really cute. I mean, all the Prankids are cute, but it's something about Dropsies. I think it's because they're crying that makes them so much more cute. And also, Dropsies is my second favorite. My least favorite of all of them is Lampsies, but they're all cute, but I do have favorites. My second favorite is Dropsies, and the main reason is just literally because he gives me access to Totally Awesome, and I would never be mad at gaining 1,000 life points. Like, I can't lie, that's really strong. It really is. That's really powerful. It makes your instant fusions free. When you resolve instant fusion, you know, get this guy, you go right back up to 8,000, so you don't have to worry about intermatch procedures. Also helps you to win intermatch procedures. Whoever's life points are higher wins. So yeah, this card's insane. And then we have Lampsies. Lampsies for the increments of burn. That's where he comes with the clutch. But either one of these, any Prankids combo and intermatch procedures, you don't have to go to battle phase. You can do all your full combos in main phase. And because you can chain block with these, your opponent won't be able to Ash Blossom both of them. So one of them will resolve, and your opponent's either going to lose life points or you're going to gain life points. And at that, you're already won. So yeah, this deck can be really dangerous with in-a-match procedures, and I like that. But Lampsies is my least favorite, but it's still cute. It is. And you can even make rank 3 plays. So you have like rank 1 options, rank 2s, rank 3s, because they tutor themselves out so excessively. And then we have triple Alistair. I decided to maximize on Alistair. He is the normal summon of the deck. Battery Man does not have enough interactions with the other 2 engines in this deck in order for him to be effective and impactful as a normal summon. So I decided that my normal summon would be Alistair. And what Alistair assists with is being able to search out my invocation. A lot of the times for your turn 1 plays, you're using one invocation to pop off with the Prankids, because obviously if you didn't know how invocation works, it can fusion summon 1 fusion monster. But if you're summoning an Invoked, you get extra benefits from it. But invocation can summon any fusion monster as long as it doesn't say must be special summoned by this, that, or the other. So you can fusion summon into your standard your fusion plays like your rocket and stuff like that. And that will allow you to trigger their effects, which start snowballing into more advantage. And it works better because now invocation has synergy with the Invoke engine and also the Prankids. Whereas if I was only playing Polymerization, it would only be good if I had Prankids, which is not always ideal. I want to have, really, really good functional and less situational hands. So yeah, Alistair's insane. I'm playing maximum copies of him because you need an Alistair to go through your Prankid combos, and then you end up making the Alistair the Invoker Link monster, and you use his effect. And if you have an extra Alistair, it gets even better. You pitch the extra Alistair, search another invocation, and then you can make your Mechaba once you're done with your Thunder Dragon combo. So every hand for me, I want to see an Alistair, Prankid combo, and Thunder Dragons. Like, I want the best of both worlds. It doesn't always happen, but a lot of the times, every hand at least gets 2 of the 3 engines, which is really good. Like, ideally, I want the Thunder Dragon and the Prankids, but the Invoke is the most simplistic and easiest to set up of all the engines, because you just normal summon Alistair, and then you make your play. And you have a lot of options for what fusion you can make, because you got fire, water, wind, light, and dark. You have everything except for earth. So that's all the monsters. It's a lot of monsters, I understand, but it's a lot of engines, and some of them I kept compact, but a lot of them just couldn't be compact. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. Alistair's really good. Still can boost any fusion monster by 1,000, which really helps in damage step. Like pumping up your Colossus and your Titans to be bigger so that they can't be attacked over, or so that you can swing over things, and it just really helps. Then next up, oh yeah, and also something that's cool is Alistair can pump up your Rocket, because how Rocket reduces his attack and he can attack directly. You can attack directly for more damage if you have Alistair. Sometimes you could go for game, like for example, if you just have, if you have triple Alistair, you could just pump him up by 3,000 and swing directly for 4K, and that's pretty strong. But just an example. Now for spells, we have 3 copies of that hot sauce, bro. I gotta see my Alistairs. It's really important. I don't have Prankids place their field spell, but if I had it, I'd play 3 of each, hands down. I'm trying to maximize on every way to get into the Invoked, every way to get into the Prankids, and every way to get to my Thunder Dragons. That's why if you saw, I play a lot of Thunder Dragons. The Prankids, you maximize on them, obviously, because they go through themselves, burn through them really excessively. Invoke is the only one that you don't have to maximize on. But like I told you guys, I want to see Invoke, Prankid, and Thunder Dragon in every single hand. Because if I have the proper combo pieces, the board that I mentioned could be really easily done with Colossus, Invoke, Mechaba, and Totally Awesome, which is really strong. And you just swap zones. You go Alistair the Invoker, and then you switch them up, and then go into your Wee Witch Apprentice, which is really strong. It can even get better. Like, it depends on the hand. But yeah, maximizing on my ways to see him. And then double Optimus Prime, which when I get the Prankids place, we'll obviously be searching out this and the place. So you'll have 5 more Prankids. I don't have instant fusions. I did have them, but I sold them at Houston Regionals because somebody offered me $11 for the playset. I was like, shoot, crackhead move, let's do it. But I definitely will be playing instant fusions in the future. So I'm missing Prankids place and instant fusions. Yeah, I think that's all I'm missing for the main deck. But yeah, you got your 5 Alistairs, which as soon as we get Prankids place their field spell, it's gonna be put into the main deck as well. We have 3 copies of Gold Sarcophagus. Gold Sarcophagus is a 1-card combo. It really helps you out, assists you a lot. Just increases your amount of Thunder Dragons, because this is 3 extra copies of any Thunder Dragon card, because you can literally just banish Dark or Roar, and you'll still be able to resolve either or's effect. You can use Roar, get out Dark, link with Dark, search, or just banish Dark and then search, you know, get out your Hawk, pitch Hawk, get him back. That's the 1-card Colossus. And then triple Allure, because I have 9 copies of 9 Dark Monsters in my main deck, but also I have 5 more. So I technically speaking, quote, quote, I have 14 targets for this, which is very much so statistically and mathematically. But what in Allure Darkness's best property is, you guys know that I'm using Invocation to summon stuff that's not Invoked Fusions. So obviously I'm not putting Alistair in the grave, which means I can't put my Invocation back into the deck. Now, Allure of Darkness can mitigate for that, giving me draw power, and it's normally a +1 no matter how you resolve it. But it gives me draw power and allows me to filter an Alistair out of my hand. For example, like you can use Invocation to fuse Alistair from hand too, but like when you're making a Prankid, you can't use Alistair as one of the materials. So you're going for your Rocket, using 2 guys, and then if you have an Alistair, you know, have an Alistair in hand or one, you know, engraved, that's beautiful. But when you have one in hand, you can just activate Allure, draw 2, and then banish Alistair, and then the Invocation that you would not have been able to get back, you can now put back because Alistair is banished. And obviously banishing Dark and Roar, it's always a +1. So this is kind of like Pot of Desires. You're always going to get more than 2 cards off of it. You're going to draw 2 and then either search off a Dark or summon Roar, which get out Roar, which is going to summon Dark, and you're going to search either way. So either way, it's going to get you an extra card out of it, which is really nice. Because I played 3 Invocation, like I maximized on Invocation, and there have been hands where I just played Invocation and fused with Lamseas and Dropsies, made my Rocket, you know, did a full combo, and just ended up using Allure to banish the Alistair from my hand, because I actually ended up drawing Alistair off of the Allure one time, and I just banished it off my hand because I already had Dark in hand. So yeah, there's just other interactions where Allure can help you to fix your hands. It can be a supplemental card. And in general, it's just a not once per turn +1, which is really strong. So you can filter a lot of cards with this. So it's really, really good. And it fixes some scenarios. And then we have triple Invocation. Invocation's just really good in this deck. You want to maximize on it because even though Alistair can get access to this, it's like seeing this in your opening hand is actually not bad. Because I do recall that the Thunder Dragons, like Titan and Colossus, you can still fusion summon for them. That's why you can activate Thunder Dragon Fusion and fusion summon for them. So even Invocation can make Colossus and Thunder Dragon Titan. I'm not saying that that's ideal, but I am saying that this makes your whole deck function. There's nothing that you can't make with it. You can make Colossus, Titan, Rocket, and you know, Weather, and also, you know, all of your Invoke Fusions. So this is like one of the most ideal cards in your deck. So I played 3 of it, and that goes back to saying with Allure, because sometimes, you know, you either normal summon your Matrix, or you commit another normal summon, or you end up drawing Alistair, and you really need to be able to put your Invocations back so that you could just have access to them. So Allure can help out with that. Because a lot of times I resolve Invocation and I'm hardly ever summoning an Invoke monster until the end of my combo. And then I still play double Thunder Dragon Fusion. It can give you access to Butler and also, you know, your Colossus and your Titan, which is really strong. And it always gives you a follow-up. There's a loop. Resolving this card gives you an infinite loop that I was explaining, where you can even banish this, search out your Roar, pitch Roar at this back, activate it again, and then every turn you're banishing it and just searching out Roars, and you never run out of Roars because this puts your Roars back. So yeah, this card is actually just a 1-card loop as soon as you resolve it. So you're never going to deck out, never run out of resources. Your opponent won't be able to out-resource you. They're going to have to kill you. And then for our 1-ups, we have 1 copy of Pranks, 1 copy of Pandemonium, and 1 copy of Plan. So I chose to keep these all down to 1 because these are very situational, whereas all my other spells are ideal to draw. Like, I wouldn't mind drawing any of these because they work with all of my hands. Like, this one doesn't work with the Invoked aspect, but if I have an Alistair, obviously I already have another play as well. But this works really well with the Prankids and also with the Thunder Dragons, so it has great synergy. Invocation works with everything, your whole deck, so it's like one of the best spells to draw. You know, Allure is incredible. You have 14 targets for a Gold Sark's a 1-card combo. I'm never gonna be mad at drawing more of those. And then these are more access to Alistair and place. So none of these spells are situational, but these are. All of these are situational. They only work with the Prankid cards. And I don't want bricky hands where I have like pranks or more than 1 pranks. Like these being 1-ups, you draw them less. But I want bricky hands where I'm drawing any of these with any cards that don't function with them. Like, for example, if I drew Alistair, like Gold Sark, a couple of Thunder Dragons, and then this, like, this just doesn't work because you need the Prankid engine to get get these effects to resolve. So I felt that one of each of them was optimal so that I wouldn't brick. I want this deck to be as consistent as it possibly can be. And even though they're one-ofs, you can actually get access to 2 of them in any combo, any basic Prankids combo. You search one off of Doodle-Doo, Fanzies dumps the other one. So any of the 2 of the 3 that you need, you can get it. And Pandemonium is not even that viable all the time. Like, most of the times you'll get these, but Pandemonium is only for when you're trying to go for the Butler play, where you can go Butler on your opponent's turn, which catches them off guard, and then Raigeki them. So a lot of times I'm searching these, and I'm using this to add my resources back, and I'm using this so that in the Altergeist and the Sky Striker matchup, and, you know, for example, you know, Paleos, I can summon this guy on their turn, and, you know, when they're in phase, I can just blow up all their back rows. So a lot of times I grab Pranks and Plan more than I grab Pandemonium, but it's still optimal to play all 3 of them just at one. So yeah, that's the main deck. Now for the extra deck, we have one Rip Roaring Rooster. This card's really powerful. I also think his best effect for me personally is the fact that he can actually just target 1 card in your graveyard, except the Link monster, and add it to your hand. That means you can add any card you want, any spell, any trap, any monster. So if, for example, I had like something crazy, you know, like a Soul Charge, you know, anything like that, or a hand trap, I can just add them back with this guy. So I think that's his best effect. But other than that, he's like a Heavy Storm. That's a quick effect, and you can just do it on your opponent's turn, you know, for back row heavy decks like Sky Strikers, Altergeist, and Paleos, and Dracos. You know, you summon this guy on their turn, and then you sack them off and then blow up all their back rows and probably OTK them next turn. So really strong. Applies a whole different level of pressure for those kind of decks. Really, really good card. 2 copies of Doodle-Doo. I felt that 2 was good, even though you can add it back off of plans and stuff like that. Sometimes you summon this guy and he gets negated. Like, on summon, they'll impermanence him, and then you won't be able to, like, chain his effect and tribute him and then add 2 more. So, like, it'll come up where you have to summon a second one, which is really good. So I keep the second one for the safety precautions measure if they ever, like, Veiler or impermanence it. Because impermanence actually follows to grave, which kind of sucks. So yeah, like sometimes you need the effect to actually add resources back. Like, you can only add once per turn. So on summon, if they impermanence it, you can't search. And you can't summon another one and search, but also you need to grab 2 more Prankids back from your grave so that you can have more resources for your follow-ups. So I just play 2 for that exact reason. Other than that, you can get away with 1 of each because Pranks recycles these, which is really good. And then we have 1 Alistair, the Invoker of Madness. He has the name on field and in grave, which actually comes up because sometimes you'll link this guy off and you'll go into something else. And then you can banish him with Invocation and make your Invoke plays. And then some Summer Summoner. This card is actually supposed to be Wee Witch's Apprentice. I only have 2 Wee Witches, and I have 1 of my Dark Lords. And I also have another one currently right now in my Dark World. So Dark World and Dark Lords. So because I share, like, if I ever take this to, like, a tournament or just want to play it, seriously, like, I just take the some Summer Summoner out and put in the Wee Witch's Apprentice. So that's what this is supposed to be. But because I'm sharing, you know, I just keep him here because he's still kind of like a good replacement. But this is the Wee Witch's Apprentice. Consider that a proxy. It's not really ideal to be summoning Summoner. It just, you don't get the maximum value that you would off of him in the pure deck that you would in this variation. So he's like a cool card. It's niche, the interactions you will get with it, but it's never really always going to be worth it. But fun fact, you can link with Doodle-Doo and another Thunder Dragon to make him. Now we have the fusions, which is the entire rest of the extra deck. We have 2 copies of Rocket, 1 copy of Washer, and 1 copy of Butler. These are the Prankids fusions I decided to play. I definitely think that this is correct to play at 2. The rest of them are easily 1-ofs. If you're playing pure Prankids or just Prankid Thunder Dragons without Invoked, you have more room to play more. But also keep in mind that Plan can just recycle everything that you need, which really helps. And also your Link monster, this guy can actually add, if you read him, he adds 2 Prankid monsters with different name except Link monsters. So something that's really cool is the fusions and the links have interactions with each other where this might not be able to get itself back, but he can actually put back your fusions, and your fusions might not be able to summon themselves, but they can summon your links. So you can go into really, really big link plays. If you play like link 4s like Topo and Gumbler and stuff like that, you can tribute this guy and bring back Doodle-Doos, and that's just free link 2s for bigger fields. So yeah, I like how the fusions and the links interact with each other. But this is like the correct ratio for me because Doodle Doodle Doo can put these guys back. These can get access to your Doodle Doodle Doos and your other links if you ever run out of them. It really, really helps in general. Just really strong. And they just target non-fusion Prankids. So you can even bring back, for example, you know, like multiple Doodle Doodle Doos if you have them. Washer is kind of like, it's not as good as Rocket because you can't do turn 1 plays with it, but it will come up on your opponent's turn. And Battle Butler's like just their Raigeki. And then he Monster Reborns anything that's not a fusion, which really helps. And then for the invokes, triple Macabre, which is your go-to. Like turns, you'll end on double of these. Especially with the interaction with the basic OG Thunder Dragon, where you pitch him and add 2. You have 2 negates off of 1 card that gives ammunition to both of these, which is really, really good. So yeah, triple Macabre, easy to set up. I had room for 1 more Invoke Fusion, which is Raijin. I felt that he was more optimal than the Water and the Fire Fusion. The Fire Fusion helps with OTKs, the Water helps with stalling. This deck can already do both OTK and stall, so I just was like, you know, Raijin is the go-to because he gives you a disruption. But when I get the cards I'm missing for my extra deck, which is a double Colossus, not 3 Colossus, 2. I'm considering just playing 1, but there are times when you can open double. I need 2 Colossus and 1 Totally Awesome. Totally Awesome's in my Paleos, so I can always take 1 out, but my extra deck is missing those 3 cards. Totally Awesome and 2 Colossus, at least 2. Like 1 would be cool, but 2 would be enough. And I would easily just cut these for the Colossus, and then I probably have to cut down the Doodle Doodle Doo to 1 for the Totally Awesome. And then we have, you know, the only Thunder Dragon fusions that I own are the Titans, which were the easiest ones to get when I first got this deck. Double Titan. I probably would even do this. I would cut a Titan for the Totally Awesome, and then I'd cut a Mecha Buff for Colossus, and then I would cut one of the Doodle Doodle Doos for the other Colossus, and then switch this guy for Wee Witch's Apprentice, which would just help in general. So that way I'll still have like access to this, still have access to this, and still have access to this. And I'll be able to play the other cards that I need, you know. And you can always recycle Titan with your Thunder Dragon Fusion because you can summon Colossus by recycling this guy. So, yeah, really good. Helps out a lot. So, yeah, that's pretty much the deck, you guys. Definitely stay tuned for, like, test hands, combos, duels. I'm going to get all of that for this because this is kind of like a new concept. You know, Prankids are just, in general, a newer deck. And Thunder Dragons are a newer deck as well. They're not that old. They're only, like, a month or 2 in. So, yeah. A lot of people may need to get a better grasp and understanding on how this deck functions and how it works. And I can help you guys with that. Just give me the time because I'm, you know, scheduled for uploading and stuff like that. I have it organized, meaning that first come, first serve. So if you ask me to do like a deck profile, and I already have a line of people who all ask me to do a deck profile, I have to take care of them first because they asked me first, and that's how I operate. But God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. You folks have a beautiful day and stay positive, all right? Peace.